Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and I want to talk to you a little bit about a new addition to orthodontic records that I kind of recommend. And I am encouraging people, actually, there's two new additions. The first edition I've already made content on. The first one I call a head back photo. I recommend a head back photo on any case that is class 3 or class 2. You know, where they have overjet or negative overjet or interferences or wear or anything like that. Why? Because too often it is not articulated correctly in the Invisalign or clear aligner setup. It happens. So I recommend that just to make sure you got it right. And of course, take your bite mark photos as well. The other one, which is kind of a new one, it's not new because I've always had this done. If I go in for cosmetic work, at a day spa, Botox, whatever, fillers, whatever, they always take the 45 social view photo. They call it a social view photo. But I recently was listening to this podcast where the orthodontist was like, oh, I always take this. And I was like, that's really smart. And then I started thinking, well, where is it going to go? It doesn't even fit in my Invisalign. You know, that's always, you have that grid, right? Where does this photo go? But then I really love the head back photo too. I feel like the grid with the 5 intraoral photos is old. Like, I really feel like it should have 7 intraoral photos. It should have the 5 we always do, plus the head back and the oblique photo. Matter of fact, maybe it should be 9 because you should have oblique from both directions, right? So the point of the oblique photo is the following, is that we often don't, this is the social view. This is how people see us. People don't look at us straight on like a headshot. They look at us from the side. They look at us from in action. And there's a lot of stuff that you like and you don't like when you see people smiling from the side. And a lot of it depends on the color of the teeth, not only, the shape of the teeth, but, and obviously in orthodontics, we're not doing color and shape. But restorative dentists are, so that's why you guys should be taking it for any of your cosmetic work. But also, we are dealing with the angulation of the incisors. And also, if we pull teeth, right, what shows is gonna be different in terms of color. So it's something to keep in mind. But for the most part, I'm thinking of it in terms of the angulation of the incisors, whether the teeth are upright, like they are here, or if they are flared, like they are here. I know that's a little small. But start looking at this a little bit more because the way the light hits the teeth differs depending on if they're upright or if they're flared. If they're flared, the light's going to hit the teeth more at the incisal edges, right? So it's going to be much more obvious that they look flared. People don't know that what they're looking at, if it's good or bad, is flared or upright. That lay people don't know why they like something or not. They just know they like it or they don't like it. And there's so much content out there where they'll show like 2 people, which has a better smile, which one's ugly, and the only difference is the teeth. And the only difference is the angulation. And for the most part, people tend to like more upright teeth more than more flared teeth. Although more flared teeth allow you to be less likely to pull teeth or add IPR, fit teeth in the mouth, and give you better lip support. I mean, assuming that you have lip confidence for the flare. But these are just things to keep in mind because I can't tell you many times I finished cases that turned out perfectly, on paper. Like there's nothing wrong with the case. It is literally so perfect. It could be an ABO. I could get an A+, like it's perfectly done. But the patient or the parent doesn't like it. Why? I just don't like it. Why? It's almost always the flaring of the teeth. So a lot of times we don't have a choice. Their teeth are thick, that's just how their teeth are going to fit. But a lot of times we do have a choice, especially if they're older, where we can choose to fit them all in. We can choose to take out teeth. We can choose to do sequential distalization. We can choose to do IPR. There's a lot of options. We can choose to push teeth forward, to push teeth back. That comes into the diagnosis and the treatment planning. And when you use AI or you just do everything up front just because it looks like it fits on a little video game, you don't always see what they see later, and they could be very dissatisfied for the rest of their life. So make sure you're taking little breaks. If there's a question of whether to push things forward or push things back or to leave them where they are, you have to keep in mind the myofunctional. You have to keep in mind how the lips and the cheeks drape over it. You have to keep in mind that they're not always, right in front of somebody. They're at social angles and see what it looks like. And it's a great idea to circle back with these patients every 2 to 3 months just to make sure that this is still the direction we're going. And I've seen offices where they have really cool light studios with natural light and other lights and different types of lights and mirrors where they can just look at themselves in all different directions. I think that is phenomenal. As a matter of fact, I love the idea of the patients before they come in to spend some time to use some of the lighting equipment. And I mean, it's even great if you have a media room where they can take different selfies of themselves. They can take tooth selfies, bring them in, show what they don't like. I mean, I love that idea. You can think outside the box with the ortho or the cosmetic portion of your practice, you can implement a lot of the tools that day spas use. As a matter of fact, go visit as many day spas as possible. Matter of fact, if you're going to go visit day spas and you're doing this stuff, talk to your accountant, but most likely you can write off that trip. So I'm just saying, I mean, if you legitimately are doing reports, legitimately doing research, I mean, obviously you need to have the documentation. I'm not going to say it's for sure that you can write off that trip, but I mean, no, I'm not going to say. I don't want anyone auditing me, but let me legitimately, you can see I'm researching for content, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I do go, I make content in day spas. No, I have not written off my Botox. Trust me, I've thought about it because I've made so much content about it. But I haven't been that ballsy. I haven't done weird stuff yet, but I'd like to if someone tells me I can. So, anyways, think about the proclination of the teeth and also the thickness of the teeth, because if you have really thick teeth, they're going to look thicker, right? So, all right, thanks so much.